right, welcome in to the road to the show. I'm Patrick Jones, and today I have my very good friend, Clifford Brown. Cliff, thanks for coming in today, man.
Thank you for having me, Pat.
All right, so eventually we're going to get into specific exercises and ways to prevent injuries, but I first want to just start off by giving you guys a little bit of background on Clifford, how he got to becoming a trainer, and just a little bit of his backstory. So, growing up, I take it you played sports?
Yeah, I grew up playing basically all the sports, basketball, baseball, football. I ran track. And then as I got older, I kind of fizzled away from some sports. Basketball, I realized that I was never going to get over 5'7".
Yeah.
Baseball kind of phased out when I got scared of the ball. So
I've seen Clifford hit, too. He's not a baseball player.
I was phenomenal at hitting the ball. Still am.
Okay, and then into high school, you started – is that when you really started putting everything into football and trying to make it in the NFL?
Yeah, I started. I really just fizzled it down to football was my first love, and I ran track because speed was key to me. So running track and playing football both went hand in hand with me as far as my position and what I did and stuff like that. So
right now, what's your best ever 40 time? Like in high school, what'd you run?
High school don't count.
High school doesn't count?
Nah, my best handheld 40 was a 4.3.
4.3. So I mean, were you training and stuff in high school, like lifting and doing all that, or?
Well, as a high school athlete, I was the typical high school athlete. I didn't want to lift, so I wanted to run.
Right,
but I trained.
Yeah.
I trained, but not training like now, like
right.
some of these kids. But.
And then after that, you went on to play college football, correct?
Yes.
And how did that go?
So I went to Delta State out of high school in Cleveland, Mississippi, Division II school. I spent a year there, and then I transferred to Marion University in Indianapolis, Indiana, where I ran track and played football. Some of the most memorable times, fun at Marion University on the football field. So
right. So take me through. You said your freshman year. When did you transfer? Your sophomore year or junior year?
Yeah, after my freshman year. So
after your freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you run track and play football at Marion?
Yes.
Marion. Okay, I did get that right.
MU.
So at what point did you realize, or did you think that maybe you had a chance of going to the NFL possibly, or playing? Has that always been a dream of yours to play?
Yeah, that was always something. Every kid that plays football, they want to play in the NFL. So that was always a dream of mine. So it didn't matter where I went or what I did. That was always the end goal to me.
How'd you guys do for your team?
Oh, Marion, we were successful. NIA powerhouse. So we were ranked number 1 in the nation for some years. And my junior season, we actually won the national championship.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So you got a ring and everything?
Yeah, we won conference and a national championship in the same year. So
that's awesome.
That was cool.
So what positions did you play in college?
I was a running back, kick returner, punt returner, receiver.
Just everything.
Give me the ball.
Just give me the ball.
Let's do something.
Right. That's awesome. And so after your college career, what was the next step? You obviously wanted to keep playing. Like you said, it's every player's dream of playing in the NFL. So what happened after you graduated?
Going into my senior season, so my last year at Marion University, I ended up breaking my forearm and my thumb. So I busted my arm up pretty good. So I ended up missing my senior year. I sat out a year just to recover and, get back to health. And then I ventured into the professional journey. And, just like anybody else, you start climbing that mountain and you realize that it's high.
It's high.
It's very high.
There's a lot more goes into it than just, are you good enough or not?
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of got to know somebody as well. So take me back. I know you have a story of where you were like standing outside of like the combine, handing out cards.
Yeah, I was hustling.
Like what? Yeah, tell everybody what you were doing there.
I plotted this grand idea that I wanted myself to be recognized. So first thing that I did is I became my own agent and I hired myself to go out and represent myself. So I actually made maybe 100 DVDs. I bought my highlight tape off of Huddle. Yeah. I actually put it on disc. I put it on YouTube. I made my own business cards, and I went out in front of the combine, and I just got up. I mapped it out kind of based on when they were doing the drills, and I knew when the scouts and coaches would be walking the street. So I got my highlight tapes, my business cards. I went out there and I just started handing them out to anybody with a logo. Probably about 6 o'clock in the morning, snowing, downtown.
Just grinding.
Just trying to get a look, man. Anything was possible, and at that point in time, what could go worse for me?
Right,
So,
you had nothing to lose.
Nah, so I was just out there, just kind of promoting myself.
Did anyone, say anything to you after they took your card, or did you get any calls or anything?
Yeah, I actually did an article from one of the reporters. So Chris, hey, how you doing? Hopefully this reaches you someday.
He's still ready.
The article for the Dolphins, my hamstring hurts. The article for the Dolphins, he actually wrote an article. So he kind of picked up about that. It got a little buzz and everything like that. But one of the biggest turning points was the fact that I met one of the Bengals coaches actually out there, Marcus Lewis, great friend of mine. I ended up running into him at the combine, and he kind of, asked me what was going on, what I was doing out there, and I kind of filled him in on some things. And then, that relationship hit off, and it actually transitioned into me coming to Cincinnati. So. And
then after you got to Cincinnati, that's when you basically decided, or you didn't really necessarily give up on your dream, but you decided to transfer a little bit into more training. Is that accurate? Or you were still working out just in case?
Yeah, so when I came on, I was an intern. So, of course, I was still, I need to train every day. But, great guy, Cliff Marshall.
Yeah.
Kind of got his hands on me and helped me put some things in perspective as far as, what are you working towards your future?
Right.
It's not about today. It's still planning for tomorrow. And even if I would have got the shot, what's next for me? That part I didn't know.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know. So I started really thinking about, the training aspect. I took a liking to it. Of course, I studied it in college.
Yeah.
That's what I got my major in. And man, I started loving it. One thing led to another, and I got a full-time job doing this, and I get the same satisfaction as training as I do playing. So
that's awesome. That's what it's all about. And I've actually worked with Clifford a couple years ago, and one of the reasons why I wanted to interview him is because he's probably the best trainer I've ever worked with. His energy is it's contagious. And I know you're not faking it because you bring it every single day. And one of the reasons that I like about that is obviously, you're training hard 3 or 4 days a week, and you got someone in who's bringing that energy, bringing that excitement in. You got no choice but to rise up. Is that something you've always had as a trainer, that mentality of just, you're upbeat, you're positive, you got a lot of energy and excitement every single day?
I don't know if I would say I have that as a trainer so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, first and foremost. But, I would say that's more so just me being who I am.
Right.
I love to have fun.
Yeah.
I love to have fun. I feel like, nobody in the room can have more fun than me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like nobody in the room can outwork me neither.
Yeah.
So, it's a matter of mixing the two to, create that, that duo that, we can have fun and work hard at the same time. So
Sure. So when you first got to Ignition, were there certain workout programs that you were implementing, or was it first you were just kind of learning from Coach Cliff and then just kind of doing what he kind of asked you and then just kind of building on your own?
Yeah, so, Cliff Marshall, Ben Creamer, the great staff at Ignition, man. We've had some great coaches in and out, great people here on a daily basis that I just started picking their brains, kind of piggybacking off them. We like to use a motto here at Ignition that, we're forever learners.
Yeah.
Everyone, no two brains are going to think alike.
Right.
Some people think outside the box. Some people are, pretty straight down the middle. And, you get that mix here at Ignition. So, being around Coach Ben, being around Coach Cliff, they challenge me to think every day. And from there, man, I just use my instincts to pick up and say, you know what, I want to be the best at this.
Right.
No different than, as an athlete, you learn to exercise, you say, hey, I want to dominate this. Or you do you have your game, your sport, you want to dominate. And the same holds true in the training realm. So
right.
I just took that approach.
I gotcha. So what type of program do you normally put together? We can just start out from a nutrition standpoint.
Diet is key. Me personally, I'm I'm working on the diet thing.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is like Floyd Mayweather, like just outworks everybody and just burns so many calories. You don't have to worry about his diet.
The Ocho Cinco diet.
Right, the Ocho Cinco diet.
Shouts out to Ocho Cinco. I eat Mickey D's every day. I love it. I love it.
But I mean, you don't drink, you don't smoke.
No.
I mean, so you think you can have a bad diet because you don't, just kind of evens it out a little bit?
Nah, man, that's one of those things again. Me just being me.
Just being you.
I always joke about it and I always say, diet is mental. Like, this doesn't faze me.
Right.
Maybe someday it'll walk me down, but I.
So you pretty much, you don't, when you work with a client or anything, you don't really necessarily go over their diet too much. It's mainly just workout.
Nah, that's kind of outside of our professional realm.
Okay.
We educate our athletes on diet, the things they should be putting into their bodies, to help them perform better. But as far as prescribing exercises, diets and stuff, that's our thing. We're strictly exercises and things like that. So. Okay,
so from like a different approach to the game, I mean, what type of like confidence do you see in like a lot of these professional athletes that, when you work with amateurs, they don't have?
I mean, professional athletes, for
from like a mental standpoint, right? Because I mean, it's
right.
It's a lot of it's mental. I mean, it really is.
Right. That's all. That's the mentality. I would say younger athletes typically, they have a lot of hunger to them.
Yeah.
They have a lot of hunger to them. And every day they show up, they want to prove that. They want to prove that that they want to get better, that they can do this, and so that's one thing that they have. As a professional athlete, they understand that they can do it.
Yeah.
They're already at the professional ranks. It's a matter of them staying at the top of their game. I would say they understand the daily basis of at any point in time they're looking to replace you.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of professional sports.
Yeah.
Every team's looking to upgrade.
Right.
Every team wants to win.
Right.
By any means necessary, that if they have to replace a guy, they will.
Right.
So I would say that's the difference in mentality.
Mentality, and then work ethic wise too. I'd assume it pretty much the same thing since their job's on the line every day. Or is there a point where you've had to work with athletes who maybe aren't that motivated, professional athletes?
For the most part, not professional athletes. They understand what's at stake.
Yeah.
When you have X amount of dollars and you have to feed your family, you have to feed yourself. This is your life. That it's not class and school and I could skip today. Nah, they're like, this is what you do. If you don't do this, they're looking to replace you.
Right.
So if you don't do it, you do understand what's at stake.
Yeah, because you're just gonna move on to the next client. Like once they get cut.
I mean,
you got no choice.
I mean, I love everybody I work with.
Right.
So at the same point, I'm sitting right here with you. That it
right.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah.
Everybody can always find me. I'll always be
around.
around.
Yeah.
But it's if you want to jeopardize your career.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Only so much you can do. You can't make them put the work in.
Yeah, I can't babysit you.
So you've worked with a lot of different NFL players. You've worked with some baseball players too. You actually trained a good friend of ours now, Jacob May. What type of different exercises did you implement when training a baseball versus football? Did you take some out, that maybe you didn't need doing football that he might need doing baseball, or vice versa?
Yeah, there's slight differences. I mean, sports specific. Some things you need, as far as, it's sometimes with baseball guys, it's not all about clanking and banging.
Yeah.
Baseball is a long season.
Well,
that is a long season.
Dude, long
I get
season.
tired of watching you.
Right.
So, so you understand that it's a long road ahead of you. So it's understanding how to take care of the body, when to implement things. A lot of injury prevention. Small muscle groups. A lot of rotational. Just little things that tie into baseball that's different than football or basketball or stuff like
right.
that. So
right, and that's the thing. Like, we were talking earlier about Josh Harrison, who trains here as well, and like one of the things that I've always admired is not just how hard he works, but like how smart he works too. Like he knows his body so well. Like if something's aching, like he knows everything. He knows when to like push, like when to pull back.
Right.
Like how important is that for an athlete to understand really their body?
I think that ties into the type of athlete that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I mean, you see Josh Harrison, who's at the top of his game, man. I mean, and he's phenomenal.
Dude, I mean, this year he's killing. I'm like, where'd all this power come from? It's crazy.
He's playing like me out there. He's playing like me. He's playing like me on the baseball diamond. That's what I would do. But when you're dealing with professional athletes, that's where you get the difference. A high school athlete, they believe in the motto of I'm going 24/7, no days off, 365. I'm gonna kill it.
Right.
And that's where they're at. That's what they're taught. That's what they see online. That's what everyone's Instagram caption is. But as a top athlete, you understand you train smarter and not harder. So you find you're in tune with your body. You know what you can handle. You know what benefits you. You know what doesn't benefit you. And then of course you get with your trainers that know you and understand your workload, how you are, and stuff like that. So you kind of dose that stuff in moderation.
So because baseball is such a long season, and I know with you working with Jacob last year, were you lifting heavy because to try and keep him healthy for most of the year? I know he's a speed he's got a lot of speed, so I know you guys working with doing a lot of different speed work. But I guess for the average baseball player out there, would it be you want to lift heavy to get that bulk to last you for that long season?
Definitely, you definitely want to implement strength. Strength is everything. That's the every sport has its injuries. Yeah. And sometimes, some injuries can't be prevented. There's nature behind sports. And it doesn't matter what sport it is. Injuries will happen. Right. But, strength is one of the best, injury prevention things out there for you. So, you take time and you develop your strength. And, you phase it out from strength to, endurance and to power. And that leads you right into your sport. So.
Okay, now Clifford's a speed guru, so we're gonna get a little bit into the different speed exercises. What you do a lot of work with actually NFL Combine guys too. Right. So when what type of exercises do people need to be doing to help increase their speed? Is it a combination of like lifting plus some speed work? Is it more speed work? If you have like a combine or a showcase or something coming up, is it maybe a little bit less in the weight room and more speed work, or how would that go?
I mean, like you said, there's different times and places in which you would actually call speed. Yeah. So like a guy that's coming in, out of college, getting ready for the NFL Combine, when he comes, we have to spend a lot of time on small tweaks to his mechanics. And his setup to make him efficient in sprinting. Right. Now that's a thing that it's been a subject for a long time. Can speed be taught? My opinion, speed can't be taught. Okay. As long as you can move faster than you did, you taught speed. Right. No, I'm not saying that I can take you.
Yeah. Are you gonna have to train me to be like the next?
You're Usain Bolt.
Right. Right.
There's a that you can definitely move faster than you move. Uh-huh. So that's one thing. As far as developing speed, I would say, man, the mechanics are key. Running efficiency is everything. It gets very methodical, with your phases, how your foot strikes the ground, right, body angles and stuff like that, and to improve that overall speed. But you're definitely gonna need strength. That's force development. That's injury prevention. Those are things that that you just can't go away from. It's not just running. Definitely gonna have to add resistance training into that. So,
what type of exercises would you be doing for strength training to help increase speed? I know the trap bar deadlift, I feel like over the past few years has really become popular. Is that one of the exercises that you like doing with all your guys, and why is that?
Absolutely. I love it. Doing it for me personally. Yeah. I'm a big deadlifter. I'm not really, throw the barbell on your back and let's squat. Right. It's all about, the way that you're lifting. Deadlifts are key. Olympic lifts are key. And that triple extension is everything. Yeah. And improving your start, no matter what sport you are. That's acceleration. So.
Right. So that's key. So take me through a typical workout that you would do. Would it be you're starting off with obviously warm up, dynamic warm up, then power? What would a typical day look like when you're training an athlete?
So at Ignition, we have the 5 Ps that we like to follow. Mm-hmm. We go protect first, So protection is, small muscle groups.
Yeah.
Sort of a extension of the warm up, and then we go into our power movements. So that's training. So we like to say we train from the waist out. So that's any type of Olympic lift. We like to emphasize the speed of the bar first and foremost. Then we move into our primary, which is your bench press, your squats, your deadlifts.
Right.
And then we move into our flex phase, which is your auxiliaries, unilateral lifts, and then we finish on our pump, which is, a finisher. A finisher is exactly what it sounds like.
The finisher's no joke, by the way.
The one thing to take you over the top. Builds a little mental toughness. Has some benefit behind it. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I definitely like that. Like, if I'm trying to work on, my speed, like, how many days a week do you think I should be running, or doing agility, or like doing something in that category?
Well, you put it you put it in a way where you think about it where if it's important to you, you'll do it every day.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a training session and I'm working on my athleticism, well, I don't want to take out my agility. Agility is something that I need to work on. So if I'm going to do my performance training program, I want to make sure that I'm hitting that, every time I do it. And I would say, a reasonable amount for a week is at least 2 days.
2 days a week?
2 days a week. 2 days a week. If you want to improve your agility, improve your linear speed, 2 days a week. You got to focus on it.
And how many yards are you running, like when you're working on your sprinting and things like that?
Well, like I said, it goes back to phases.
Yeah.
Of course, a track runner.
Yeah.
Their distance, their duration's a little longer.
Right.
As compared to it pretty much varies. You got football guys that get ready for the 40.
Yeah.
You got baseball guys.
Yeah, like when you're working with Jacob.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff were you guys doing?
Well, Jacob's a center fielder,
right.
So he has to cover a lot of ground.
Right.
So he's almost like a track runner.
Yeah.
He has to be able to get to 40 yards and get to the ball.
Yeah.
At top speed and get there and and be able to even if he gets on base, he has to be able to bring that thing all the way around.
Right. Right.
I would say his phases, from proper acceleration phase into his transitional phase. We even train top end speed, and I feel like Jacob adapted well.
Yeah.
To the training. Phenomenal athlete.
Phenomenal.
Athlete, yeah.
So what are the sites and reps look like for when you're doing different lifts, like deadlift, like trap bar deadlift in the off season, trying to get bigger, faster, stronger? What are the sets and reps look like for you guys here?
Well, it would be depends on the time of year. If you're in the strength phase, we'll if we're gonna keep it heavy, we're not gonna take it over 5.
Yeah.
Et cetera. So if we're going to work endurance, of course, the rep range will be a little higher. As we get closer to your season, we may dial that back from 4 sets down to 3, maybe 2.
Right.
2 with moderate weight, 6 to 8 reps.
Yeah.
Just so you're adding the resistance, but you're not completely rejecting it.
Right. And there's actually a video of this guy. How much do you weigh?
165.
165. Clifford weighs 165. I'm gonna post this video. There's a video of him deadlifting over 500 pounds. Right?
It's photoshopped.
It's not photoshopped. I know for a fact that thing is real. But how can someone with how much you weigh, lift that much? Is that just a lot of genetics? Or you think it's just from straight just lifting over the years?
Nah, I never really lifted heavy like that. So for me to go that high and deadlift 500 pounds plus, that was just me wanting to unlock my own potential. That was something that I wanted to test on myself. Did it 3 times. So
I was gonna say it's a couple times on there. It's for sure a couple times.
I could probably go a little higher, but that's just something that I wanted to see for myself, just to do. I wouldn't say that going heavy is a practice for me. Nah, I'm cool.
Yeah, I can definitely tell your mentality and your confidence in yourself. What type of mentality do you think that athletes need to perform at that high of a level?
First and foremost, man, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else should?
Right. Oh yeah.
Like I said, even my journey, that's just who I am.
Right.
I hire myself.
Right. Right. Yeah. I love that.
if I'm in the room and no one else can do it, I'll probably be that one guy to be like, I can do it.
Yeah.
Now whether I swing or miss, I'm gonna go for it. So,
yeah.
That's just belief in yourself, man. Just
Right.
believe in yourself, believe in your abilities. Don't let nobody set limitations on you.
Right.
So, if you feel like you can do it, you can do it. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what anyone's going to say about you. Just do it.
Right, and that
You
comes back to if you're overcoming an injury or something like that. There's always that mental hurdle.
Right.
Have you worked with some athletes who have overcome or are currently maybe overcoming injuries and dealing with that mental hurdle?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, that's part of the sport. And when you come back to training or before you go, you're always going to be hesitant because it's going to be in the back of your mind. But one thing that Coach Ben Creamer told me once, he's like, that's confidence is one of the biggest carryovers into your sport. So I took that saying and okay, well, if we can test this athlete and show them that they're fine, or we strengthen what was once a weakness, you should be ready to go.
Right.
Like, so if you're going out there, you're thinking about it. What are you thinking about it?
Right.
You've taken the time, you've developed, what a great area for yourself. So, just go and do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can confidence be like taught? Can that? Because I mean, I know in baseball, 90% is mental, right? So I mean, mentally, can you how is it just straight from preparation, or is it just straight like you either got it or you don't?
Man, confidence comes from a lot.
Right.
It's a lot of things. Maybe just being around someone, and that's one thing that I would like my energy to be. Is having confidence. And you've trained with me before, so I always tell you, don't let me believe in you, and you don't believe in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is opposite unless you want me to play your sport.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe confidence comes from being around someone positive. It can come in that matter. It can be around confidence can come from you training and seeing that you're improving, and that's one of the coolest things about being a trainer, is seeing yourself improve. And then sometimes it's just a matter of you just going out there doing it, because if you do it once, you're like, that was it.
Right.
Yeah, that was it. That was the whole time I've been struggling with this. Same thing in the classroom. When you figure out a method that works for you, when you unlock that potential in your mind, man, that's what it is. It's
so much of it is just like fear. Like, I feel like so many people are afraid of what other people are going to think of them, like when they go out and perform on, you know what I mean? Like, I see that all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't. What's there to be scared of? Then what's the point of even going out there?
Right.
If you're scared.
Right. I mean, if we can ever teach that, I mean, we're going to be golden for sure.
When I figure it out, I'm bringing it right back to the show.
Right. Now, recently, you've actually, this is what, last year, you started training Gary Owen, the comedian. Tell everyone how that worked out. How you met. This is like, it's the power of social media. It really is.
Yeah. So December 18th, I remember because it was a Pittsburgh Steelers game. My dad's a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers game. He's mad because he didn't go to this game with me. So I won't forget this date. My dad was so mad at me. I ended up going to the Pittsburgh Steelers game, and after the Pittsburgh Steelers game, I ended up going down under the stadium to the locker room. And I seen Gary around, just standing around, just being a normal dude.
Right.
Cool as a fan, like always.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went up to him and, just asked for a picture. I was a fan. I've always been a fan of his.
Yeah.
I watch a show on BET weekly. So I kind of went up to him, asked him, can I take a picture with you?
Yeah.
And he was who he was. Oh, yeah, sure. Come on.
Right.
Took the picture, said thank you, walked away. I posted a picture on social media, and I actually tagged him in it. I was like, yo, I ran into Gary Owen. Like, that was cool. And Josh Harrison actually commented on the picture and tagged me and Gary both in it, and was like, oh, man, I haven't seen you in the gym. Where you been? I've been back for a little while. I haven't seen you. And Gary, I guess he's seen the picture that I had tagged him in. He was like, yo, that's the guy that just took a picture. So he kind of put two and two together.
Yeah, that Josh knew you too. Yeah.
Josh worked with me, but earlier that week, so Josh went to his show. Josh Harrison went to a show at the Liberty Funny Bone, and he actually introduced himself. So he looked Josh Harrison up, seeing that the dude was legit.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
some
yeah.
This dude like, oh yeah, I play baseball.
Some random dude. Yeah,
so
yeah.
He put 2 and 2 together, and he seen that Josh Harrison and I had dialogue, and so he puts 2 and 2 together, and he hits me up, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna come into Ignition, and I'm thinking he's joking.
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, nah, he's playing. He said he was. I'm like, all right, if you're gonna do it, then I'll see you. Maybe 2 days later, I get a tweet, and he's like, hey, I'm coming into Ignition at 2:00. I'm still thinking this dude's joking. I'm like, man, this dude don't know where it's
Yeah.
at. Sure enough, 2:00, he comes rolling in. I'm like, what in the world? I'm starstruck.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of his. I was like, man, I can't believe this dude really showed up. So I kind of gave him a demo session of some things, educated him on fitness and stuff like that, and and he ended up enjoying the session. I gave him my business card. I gave him my cell phone number. I'm like, look, you want to work out, man? Just give me a call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Help you out, whatever. And he left. He didn't say anything. So I'm like, oh man, this session went bad.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. He just
Cliff's got him out
bye.
running 60-yard dashes like baseball players.
I'm trying to make him faster, the fastest comedian out there. So he leaves, and he says bye and everything, and I'm like, man, I probably screwed this up. I should have done this. I should have done that. So I let it go, and I'm like, I'm going on to my day to day. Well, I'm down at Paul Brown Stadium. I get a call, and I get a call from Gary. He's like, yeah, I'm back. I'm like, what? I'm like, he showed up. I thought I dropped the ball on this, and so I got back up here, and we went through another session, and respects to him. He's like, I kind of like the workouts that you took me through. It was something that obviously he could benefit from.
Yeah.
And one went from there, and then we're rolling.
I mean, is he a
hard?
hard worker? Like, does he get? First of all, is he a good athlete?
Is Gary a good athlete?
Gary a good? I've seen him dance a little bit on YouTube, but I mean, like.
Ask me that again. Ask me if Gary is a good athlete.
Is Gary a good athlete?
Gary Owen is a freak athlete. You're welcome, Gary.
Yeah, I was saying I'm gonna see it, but I love how Jay Hay comes in and basically, and that's what I love about him is if you like show him that you're working hard and things like that, like he'll help you out. And even like that was just kind of just randomly, but I mean it was like that in my experience too. But I mean, first of all, go check out Gary Owen. If you live in Cincinnati area, I think it's December 2nd.
December 2nd. I'm going to plug Gary's shows. December 2nd at Taft.
Yeah, Gary Owen at Taft. Cliff might open up for him. You think you're going to open up for him?
I'm not funny whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I'll open up.
Right.
I'll do it for the $50, Gary. $50.
All right, so we got one more question I want to talk to you about. You got one athlete that you can train. I don't care what sport, baseball. It could be, Mike Trout. It could be football. Anybody. Who would it be and why?
If I say you, do I get brownie points?
Maybe a little bit. Well, but you've already worked with me.
That's true.
Yeah, you've already worked with me.
I was trying to win.
Right.
One athlete. Cam Newton. Current athlete, Cam Newton.
Why is that?
Man, I love the way he plays. I would say that he plays the way my character relates to him when he plays.
Yeah.
He's out there. He's playing at a high level.
Yeah.
Not only is he playing at a high level, he's having fun.
Yeah.
He's having fun doing it.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't care what anybody thinks. He's doing it his way. He's having fun. And whenever I watch him, in his arena, I'm like, man, like that dude's amazing. If I could get him in the gym to train with him.
I mean, you think you could you see stuff in his game, be like, I feel like if I worked with him, maybe his agility would be a little bit better, or maybe some speed.
I don't think I'm that good.
You don't think you're that good?
I would do everything in my power to help him. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I'd read whatever books I needed to help.
Yeah.
So, Cam.
Cam Newton, if you're watching, hit up Clifford.
Call me.
Yeah. What's your Instagram and Twitter handles? Everyone knows.
Instagram, Twitter, S_Brown25. Instagram and Twitter both. It's not very flashy. That's the best I got.
Yeah. So, you guys got any questions or anything, or want to work with Cliff? Like, make sure to hit him up. But thanks again for coming on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So this is the road to the show, and thanks for everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Road to the show.
Road to the show.